Hey guys, it's Jason from GameRave.com, and this is an episode of Present Tense. So, obviously the big shebang this week is E3, and since everyone else and their brother and sister and cohort are doing E3 videos, I figured why the hell not. E3 was really weird this year. And when I say weird, I don't mean like we didn't know what was going on per se, but this was definitely a transitional year for the companies. And what do I mean by that? I mean, no one really had anything to show. First, let's talk about Microsoft. Now, of the three system sellers, Microsoft probably had the cleanest presentation. Now, we can ignore the giant pop-up ad with Forza, which we all knew was coming no matter what. But despite not really having any gaffes and showing a ton of games, there was nothing in that entire presentation to make me go, I really need an Xbox One. I don't have an Xbox One. I have a 360. And the fact that we're now this far into the system's life cycle and there's still not enough exclusives or, extra features in the system to make me go, hey, I should really buy one. Like, the Xbox One is more powerful than a Wii U. It's also cheaper than a Wii U was at launch day, and I still haven't found a reason to buy an Xbox. Like, this is insane. And back in the day, Microsoft used to have all these crazy cool exclusives. Gears of War, Halo, Forza still, and what have you. And it seems like all those exclusives they used to have, especially if you go back to the original Xbox, which I'm assuming that's why they're bringing back backwards compatibility, because then you had grabbed by the Ghoulies and a whole bunch of other cool ones. That's a problem. And I know both Sony and Microsoft have this weird sort of vibe with exclusivity, and they have different reasons and so forth, but seriously, by now, there should have been a reason for me to spend the money on Xbox One. And as someone who was so, I wouldn't say rabid, but as soon as, and I mean the frothing at the mouth, not the Nintendo bunnies, as someone who was so much of a diehard Xbox 360 fan and totally anti-PS3 for a long time, this is practically unacceptable for Microsoft. And I mean, they're not going to go anywhere. Like, they'll be around forever, the next generation cycle, blah, blah, blah. But it's time to start looking for a new exclusive. And I don't care what you have to do or who you have to go to. If it's a third-party exclusive, something needs to happen right now. Before we get to the other companies, Bethesda's presser, a lot of people have been giving Bethesda crap, mainly for re-releasing, Skyrim 1,000 times again. I didn't have a problem with Bethesda's presentation. In fact, I thought it was really cool. I especially liked how they actually gave nods to all the fans and all the various in-jokes and little animations, something that EA could have, learned from before their presentation. I'm really, out of I think 4 hours of EA pressers and then the 20 minutes Nintendo did, one of the only things I was excited for, and when I say excited, I mean Dishonored DLC. Nice. I mean, Wolfenstein is cool, and I'm actually going through it right now, literally in the front room right now. It's in my PlayStation 4, but whatever. It's not a game I'm crazy for, or like a new IP I'm crazy for. So thankfully, Bethesda actually had something that was worth my time watching the video. EA's presser I didn't watch. I'll be honest, I didn't watch it because it's practically all sports games, and I knew whatever announcement their other developers would have, it'd be shown off somewhere else, aka Anthem. From BioWare. Speaking of BioWare, I know a lot of people are pissed at BioWare because of Anthem basically not being Mass Effect Andromeda. And as someone who has come to love Andromeda, even with all its faults, it's a fantastic goddamn game. Yeah, the storyline could have been better, but as far as gameplay goes, Andromeda beats the shit out of ME Trilogy. There, I said it. If you want a storyline, go play ME Trilogy. If you want insane, awesome gameplay and things you can do with the gameplay, play Andromeda. And with Anthem, I really don't have any statements on it per se, except I can understand people's complaints with Anthem just because of Mass Effect's original writer, Drew, I can't remember his name, Carpenter, whatever, Drew. Him being Anthem's writer when he could have been on Andromeda, and the fact that if you watch Anthem's gameplay video again and scrutinize it a little bit, you'll actually see minor Mass Effect elements being repurposed, like the Fiend, and the armor she wears is like almost exactly as the Remnant armor in Andromeda. I can understand where people are getting pissed, but they shouldn't be as pissed as they are. In fact, like, I think they should be overjoyed that at least we know, to a degree, BioWare is bouncing back from whatever craziness happened with Andromeda. But like I said, play Andromeda. It's really good. Even if right now I think it's like $30 or $40. Just go check it out. The first 5 hours will drive you insane. But once you get past that, just like the first Mass Effect, it's amazing. Seriously, trust me. Nintendo did 25 minutes of a presentation. And literally, they had some overworked guy at a table that said, new Pokemon game coming. That was the end of it. They had nothing but a title card from Metroid Prime 4. And those two things alone were better than anything Sony and Microsoft showed. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, there was the amount of joy I had of finally knowing there's a Metroid Prime sequel coming that's not goddamn Other M. Like, that was perfect. Nintendo literally did what they needed to do, and that was, hey, your favorite franchises are coming, hold tight. Even the Yoshi's game, which I'm not really a big Yoshi fan, looked phenomenal. Like, this, you know what was weird too? I have to go back and rewatch Microsoft's presentation, but I'm almost positive their 4K presentation on the stream wasn't as high res as Nintendo's stream was. Like, I remember watching Yoshi and Kirby thinking, that's really, really high res in the video I'm watching. That aside, I already have Metroid on the 3DS reserved. Yay. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Nintendo. Now, Sony. So, let's replay my reaction to Sony's presser conference. Where's the audio? Ooh, hello, Horizon. Now, something went wrong with Sony, and I don't know if it was behind the scenes issue or if it was they were trying to figure out, maybe they had something, an announcement ready to go, but Microsoft somehow stole their thunder with the backwards compatibility announcement. But Sony's press conference was not just a technological failure from the no actual audio for, was it 20 minutes, I think, for us watching at home. And then you could tell they were having some of the pyrotechnic issues with some of the smoke in that one shot. But everything they showed, we either already knew about. It was, ooh, did you guys hear that? There's some crazy ass thunder outside. We already knew isn't coming out till 2018, or it was like DLC. And then some of the stuff they showed, it was like, how? Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? If that's the final, like, in-game cinematics, they look terrible. Like, shitty terrible. Like, PS1, we're still learning how to use 3D renders bad. Like, their audio, like, the Spider-Man gameplay, everyone is screaming about the Spider-Man gameplay, except if you actually go back and watch it, it was mostly just real-time events. Like, I applaud that the Spider-Man dev team decided to actually show you how it was a QuickTime event, unlike the other game, I think, whatever that stupid zombie game is that no one's going to buy because it looked like it was super linear. But there's a part where in that game, he turns and stabs a zombie that scares him. You know that there's going to be a QuickTime event that they did not show you in that demo. And so I applaud the Spider-Man team for that. But I mean, it's going to be another cool Batman game. Okay, sweet. The fact that they are remaking Shadow of Colossus when they could have made an actual like next Shadow of Colossus game depresses me. Like just like when you have an hour presentation and the only thing someone is excited about is the DLC for a game that's already been out for a couple months, something's wrong. And this is further proven. If you go back and watch the E3 presser, ignore the presser and pay attention to the audience shots, the shots of the crowd. Early on in the show, you could tell how little of an impact they were making because there are literally people in the audience sitting like this. Like, they're there with all the pyrotechnics and the videos and they're that bored. Like, it's not as bad as the time people yelled out at, was it Sony or Microsoft? A couple years ago, the crowd was actually chanting, like, and booing for whatever reason. But it felt lost. Even the gameplay demo for God of War, which, to its own credit, does look great visually, was boring. Like, I don't know what was wrong with them. And I don't know... See, I'm rambling, and this is why I do scripts now. Sean, I can't remember his full name, but the Sony guy talking in the presser, when he first came out, and this is after the audio issues, but before everything else, he seemed so goddamn nervous and terrified, like someone had killed his cat or something. And when he came out, he was like, oh, hey, we're going to, like, show more stuff now. And then everyone basically just sat there and watched a demo reel, like a movie trailer, for 40 minutes. That's not an E3 presser. There was no talk of other people. It was literally like they all just freaked out and said, F it, we'll just show the video and be done with it. What happened? It's nowhere near as bad as Ridge Racer issues during the PS3, but like, what happened? Like, really? After 4 plus hours of E3 pressers, Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS, Metroid whenever it gets here in 2019, hopefully, for the Switch, Horizon's DLC, and Dishonored standalone DLC. That's the only thing I came out of all of that E3 going, yeah, I want that. Yeah, I'll spend money for that day one. What happened? Sony last year hit every nail on the head. Like, they were unstoppable. And then suddenly, they're just technical issues, no presentations, no talkers, no indie games featured, among other disasters. What happened? To put it in perspective, I used to joke during the PlayStation 3 era about how after winning my PlayStation's Biggest Fan Award, I used to always correct people and say, I'm the PlayStation fan, not the biggest PlayStation 3 fan. Because I just didn't like the PlayStation 3 at the time. And after watching that E3 presser, I will still say I'm the biggest PlayStation fan, not the biggest PlayStation 4 fan. Oh. All right, guys, that does it for this week. What were your thoughts on E3? Post below, let me know. Give me your top 3 games looking forward to, your top 3 what the hell just happened moments, aka the audience being bored at Sony and so forth, and we will get a conversation going. That said, have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care.